Hey, this is Miri. You're watching a 416 interview.
When did you start creating music?
I kind of been making music my whole life, but I'd say I started releasing music like freshman year high school. I'd put out stuff with my boy Grif, who now goes by Dead Egos. He makes music videos, just some stuff on SoundCloud, but it wasn't really too serious. I kind of really started taking it up a level more like senior year.
And what made you start creating music?
My whole family's pretty musical. My grandma actually was a famous singer back in Pakistan on my mom's side. So literally she was like the Beyonce of Pakistan over there, and she's a phenomenal singer. So I've always wanted to kind of go down that lane too. Obviously in a different genre, but still, it's a big inspiration for me.
What's the story behind Miri, the artist name?
Well, so my name is Amir, but a nickname that some people call me sometimes is Miri. So it kind of like I liked that it kind of had that ring to it with the Miri that you can kind of chant at a show, like Miri, Miri. I felt like it kind of fit as a good name. Yeah. And the 4K was just because when you're trying to pick a username on socials, the Miri was already taken, but I thought, 4K, I'm putting out quality content, it kind of works.
When it comes to creating songs, what's like your creative process like?
Usually these days, what I do is I go to my boy Ilya's house. He goes by Illman. He's a longtime collaborator of mine. We go up to the top floor of his crib. He cooks up a beat while I'm playing some video games, and then I just come hop on, one or two takes, mix it up, put it out.
Are you a freestyler or are you like a writer?
I'd say that my freestyle skills are like a B minus to C plus. I'd say I'm pretty good at getting a flow down if I initially hear a beat and do it. But if you want some bars, they ain't gonna be anything top quality. They ain't gonna be 4K like the name suggests.
So do you write then? I'm assuming.
Yeah, just off the iPhone, I kind of write them down and lay them down.
What's like the beat picking kind of like process look like? Are you like really picky when it comes to beats, or do you get kind of just take 10 beats and just rap over it, see what you feel, what you don't?
No, I'm definitely pretty selective. Usually, Illman's producing a beat for me, and he starts veering off in one direction. I'm like, nah, bro, let's bring it back to like the sound we're trying to create, and we get on that vibe. Or if I'm not working with Illman, I'm listening to like SK Beats or someone else that might send me a pack. I'm really listening for something that can be really melodic. I think because I'm always trying to push more towards creating strong melodies over melodic beats. So yeah, I'm definitely selective with the beats I choose, but I hope each one bangs.
Alright. How would you describe the music you create?
I'd say it's kind of like a take on what's kind of hot in the underground right now, a little bit of plug-in B and that kind of like trap that you might see artists like Can or Summers be on, but try and bring a bit of that dark Toronto R&B vibe to it, kind of that XO style. Yeah.
Recently, you did a performance at the Dio show, right? How was that? What was your experience like?
Man, it was insane. That was my first show. It was really surreal, honestly. I was it was almost an out of body experience, I feel. Like I took the stage and I just saw like a whole crowd like bouncing to one of my tracks, and it was really trippy, honestly, because I had never really experienced something like that on that scale. So I really hope to do more in the future because it was just insane.
Yeah, you also mentioned the head of the show, MTV Grif. You went to school with him. What's that kind of like growth for both of you look like?
Man, I've known Griff since we were like 6 or so. Like we grew up literally he's like 3 minutes down the street from me right now, childhood friends. And so he wouldn't want me saying this, but he actually used to be a rapper. He wasn't into music videos. He was the one that kind of got me into releasing music on SoundCloud. And then he started making music videos. I'm actually the first person he ever did a music video for. So yeah, so I've been tracking his like entire growth as a videographer and like an artist in his own right. And so when he told me he was doing a show, I didn't even think he'd offer me a slot. I mean, I'm still pretty small, but I was gassed, and of course I took it right away. And watching him go up, and now hopefully watching me go up, it's pretty cool to see us on the same like trajectory.
In your Instagram bio, it says UFT's finest. Are you like a student there right now?
I am. I just finished up my third year, heading into my fourth year at UofT. Most people don't expect it when I talk to them, but yeah, trust me, I don't expect it either.
What program are you in there?
So I'm in the Book and Media Studies program, It's basically just taking a look at how like media has developed over time and how it's affected like society.
How is it balancing like uni life and like this kind of grind to become like a artist?
Genuinely, it can be really tough. I mean, I really experienced it hard last year where, you have such a passion to do one thing, but you also know you have these goals you've set in the academic world. And I kind of found myself hitting that like stoppage point where I kind of just stopped doing both things for like a few months. And I really had to work hard to get myself back on pace to finish my school year and then also start releasing more music again. So I'd say, it's hard to be a student and trying to be a full-time artist, but if you can kind of find that happy place in between and take your free time and direct it towards your craft, then you're on a good trajectory to being next up.
If you could collaborate with anybody in the underground scene, who would you want to collaborate with?
Man, I don't know. If we still consider Autumn underground, I feel like Autumn was one of the first. I feel like Autumn was one of the first artists I heard from this new scene when Illman played him for me with Nina, where I was just like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" And I've been listening to him ever since. And a lot of his music is, I'd say, a big inspiration on some of the stuff I do. So, yeah, if Autumn ever wants to work, hit me. I'm down.
Yeah, I've listened to some of your songs too. I feel like you would go hard with like Jace too.
Definitely, I do love Jace too.
Jace, you would go hard with. Um, so what artists do you listen to on like your own time?
Oh man, I'm a big Weekend fan. He's my goat. So I listen to a lot of the Weekend, the whole EXA label like Nav and stuff. I'm a big fan of also. Of course, I rep Toronto with like artists like Drake. Aside from that, I'm a big Gambino fan. And, I listen to the occasional Yeet stuff like that too.
You listen to anyone else from the underground? From Toronto, like music scene?
Oh, underground Toronto scene. I mean, I fuck with Kuiper heavy. I introduced him to Grif. He's super hard, bro. Check out Canada. If y'all haven't heard that, that's what I heard. 212. I brought him out during my Dead Ego set. He's definitely going up. Uh, if Velo was still underground, or like any of the Northside Jane mans, like YG and stuff, like yeah, there's so many hard Toronto artists.
Out of all the songs and projects that you have put out, which one did you like most enjoy making?
Okay. Well, I feel like one of the most fun experiences was making an older track that I have with Illman called Rooftop. It was the first track that I was like, this needs to go out today. Like we finished it up in like 35 minutes because I was just like, whoa. And more recently, I was at home and I was just trying to create a song that I could open my set with. And I just started working on what's called Scream Queen now. It's out now. And I think it might be my best track to date. So that was a really cool experience of just like making it in real time, just knowing this is probably my best track.
Since you have been creating music for like since like freshman year of high school, what kind of advice do you have for new artists coming into the game?
Yeah, honestly, I think I'd say the biggest advice I can give is getting past insecurities that could kind of put a halt in your way. I think especially now that a lot of artists coming up are like as young as we are, even younger, it's really hard to sometimes, feel confident enough to put a song out even on SoundCloud where you have to like show the stats and you might only get like 60 listens in the first month or something. But if you just kind of push past that and find your like small network of support that's going to help you go up, you're gonna feel so much happier than if you never knew what would happen if you never dropped music.
Any new projects people should look out for?
Most definitely. I'm dropping a tape on all platforms this summer called Chilltown. Should be coming within a month. We're finishing it up right now, all the engineering and all that. It's gonna feature a lot of the tracks you heard at the show and some new ones too. So stay tuned for Chilltown.
All the time, fine. Bitches always trying